What did you think of the Weidman Mousasi fight?
Man, that rule, again, we are in a transition period. They just changed that rule. What did I think? I thought the way it played out was wrong. They should have done one or two things. They should have let the fight continue, or they should have no contested it. That's the only two things you can do, because somebody's going to get, as it turned out, somebody's been wronged. Okay? In this case it's Chris. If you have instant replay, you don't have instant replay, the referee called an illegal move. Whether that move was illegal or not, that's the referee's call. So that's what it is. Everything that played out afterwards, and again, this is a sport where you make mistakes and you move forward, and you accept it. It was a bad thing that happened. Boy, that pace that Chris put on him in the first round, I think he gassed himself out. And he's a wrestler. He's smart. He's going to take his time. He's going to get back in there and get his win back. So yeah, I wish it wouldn't have happened like that. I wish they would say, hey, let's run this back. Apparently, Mousasi is at the end of his contract, and he's ticked off. Yeah, that was just unfortunate.
I don't know how ticked off Mousasi is. He did say some stuff that I want to be paid more, but he was pretty calm. They even asked him, it was Errol, and he said, well, are you going to look to go to Bellator? And he said, oh, no. I want to stay with the UFC. I just want to, kind of get these numbers right. I thought Mousasi played that pretty good. I don't like it when guys take their grievances to the media. There's a time and a place for that. But it seems to be the song and dance that everybody's doing, so it loses major steam. You should save that for in private and go in. Mousasi's awesome. There's still a number attached to that. There's still a number that he's drawn and that he's selling. There's still a number there, and I think they'll get that worked out. I will say this, if we're talking about the fight itself, I was, when I asked you this question, talking specifically about the way it ended, but since you bring up the fight, I will agree with you. That was an amazing contest. Weidman is so powerful on that single leg. A single leg doesn't work in MMA. I don't know if you could turn to another athlete and go, well, this guy's got a good single too. It's only Weidman. Nobody can shoot to one leg and then pull the guy down, except for Chris Weidman. And I argue it all the time when I teach MMA. I'll give a guy my leg. I'll have everybody sitting down, watching the technique. I'll give a guy my leg and say, okay, and I'll ask the class. I'll say, does he have my leg? And everybody will say, well, yeah, he has your leg. And I'll go, okay, now let me ask you again. Exact same position. Does he have my leg or do I have his hands? Because when a guy has one leg, his hands are done. He's wide open for anything I want to do to him. Single legs don't work in MMA, except for Chris Weidman. It is so powerful when he gets on. He drops his chest, he lowers his weight, he drags. It's a basic dump, but he's figured out how to do it in MMA. It's very impressive technique. I think you're right. I think maybe his gas was going a little bit low, but it should have been. That was a high pace. They were on track for fight of the night. I still think it was the fight of the night. I thought it was just an awesome contest. It just ended in a really goofy way. But as far as the action that they had, it was an incredible fight. And then if you look at Mousasi and the way he was able to get up off of the bottom, and then Mousasi is such a shark. When he sees blood, he goes for it. And Weidman is so hard to hit. Ask Lyoto Machida, ask Vitor Belfort, ask Anderson Silva, ask Damian Maia. Weidman's defense is so good. Mousasi was connecting. So Mousasi did some great things. I thought he was losing that fight, but that really has nothing to do with anything. They were only halfway through it. So let's let it play out. Now, there is something relevant here because this is a very clear rule. Very clear rule that is a judgment call by the referee. The referee said his hands were down. When I watched it, Joel, I agreed with the referee. I also thought Weidman's hands were down. So the referee stopped it. He called it illegal. There is no point in debating, for anybody that wants to debate this, whether it was legal or illegal, because the rule is clear. It's whatever the hell the referee says it is. Very clear. The referee said it was illegal. The referee then doubled down on that decision by giving Weidman 5 minutes to recover, which you are not given if it's fair play. So now it's been ruled illegal, and then it was rubber stamped once again illegal. Okay? They gave him his minutes, calling it illegal, and then asked him if he wants to continue. You know, what day is it and all this stuff. No fighter in their right mind would continue a match that they are about to win. It doesn't matter if it's disqualification, TKO, KO, referee's decision. There's 4 different ways to win. People keep acting like there's only 3. There's 4. There's also disqualification. No fighter in his right mind would continue that match. Weidman did the right thing. Somewhere, the UFC replayed it on slow-mo for the people in the house, and it was the same stream that came to us, the viewer. And their production showed that a hand was up. Now, that was still a referee's call because it's not just when the knee lands, and that's what everybody's married to on this. It's when is the knee thrown. If both of your hands are down and I start to throw a knee and you lift a hand and it connects with you while one hand is up, that's still illegal. I cannot throw a knee. It's not I can't land a knee. I cannot throw a knee when both of your hands are. So that's still to this day a judgment call. That's as close as it possibly gets. But the call was made, and the call was double downed on by giving him his 5 minutes. It's illegal, period. That's what was ruled. To then say, not only is it not illegal, this contest is over. It's not a no contest. You now lose. It's not within the rules. It's also very relevant if you want to get technical. Who did the instant replay? It was not done by the commission. They did not sit down at a monitor and have an outside referee and the in-ring referee review it. The UFC played it on their Jumbotron, and the referees turned and looked. Now, that's relevant. That's a technical issue, but it's a relevant one because now it's not the commission at all. So an outside referee used the UFC's video production to make a ruling after an inside referee had already made a ruling and doubled down on his ruling. You can't do that. That would be the same thing as me at home having the benefit of the slow motion and Joe Rogan breaking it down for me and sharing his opinion, and then I send a text message to somebody who informs the referee to stop the contest and rule it in Mousasi's favor. In addition to that, this is also relevant. So right there, I mean, it's game over. But if you want to make a speaking point on this, that position never would have been stopped if the referee didn't think it was illegal. If the referee thought it was legal, Weidman was not cut, and he did not fall down. So the referee would not have stopped that action. The action would have continued. There was no cut. There was no knockdown. How do you have a TKO in a combat sport where one guy isn't cut and he doesn't fall down and he's not even wobbled? So that action never would have even been broken. And I've heard people come out and say, well, Chris tried to game the system. Well, how's he gaming the system? They called it illegal. He took 2 shots to the knee. He's got a chance to win the match. That's it. There's no gaming going on there. That's what the rules are.
So a couple things in play here. A, we have a rule change, and now they are starting to go to video to look at a replay for something just like this. It's not set up everywhere. So what happened in the co-main event of this card was going to happen. It might have happened in a Bellator show. It might have happened on the undercard. And then what happens is now, okay, we made a mistake here. Here's how we're going to fix it. Let's move forward and get over it. It just so happened Chris and Mousasi are the ones that it happened to. It could have happened to anybody, and it was a mistake. That's it. That's all it was. And it stopped us midway through a great fight that I want to see again. But I think there's a bigger question here, Joel. You're calling it a mistake. I believe there was an error made. But if the authorities do not, if they're saying, no, that's the way it should have been done, we had the benefit of instant replay. There's only three jurisdictions in all of America that have the benefit of instant replay, and one of them is a tribal council. So to start right there, they don't have the benefit of instant replay. Show me anywhere in the rule you don't have it. That's not true. Secondly, you didn't have an instant replay. You turned to the promoter's production through the house and watched that. So that's out of bounds. Secondly, the one thing that you do have in the bylaws is a referee's opinion. And the referee had made a call, and he doubled down on it. It was an illegal move, period.
That's just the way it works. There is jurisdictions where you could turn to instant replay, but this isn't one of them. So that was wrong that it happened to Weidman. It would have been very unfortunate what had happened to Mousasi, but still to this day, there is an argument if those were legal knees. And you can say when they landed that Weidman's hand was up, but that's because you don't understand the rule. You're talking about when a knee is landed. The rule reads when the knee is thrown. In my opinion, this is my opinion, but I watched this thing 10 times. I got a good eye for this. I thought they were illegal. I thought the knees were thrown when Weidman had his hands down. I don't like that rule to start with. I don't get it. I think it makes the sport more violent. I don't know why it would be encouraging people to knee other folks in the head. And you also have to consider it is illegal to hit somebody on top of the head. And the way top of the head is identified in every jurisdiction is the mohawk. If somebody had a mohawk, anywhere where that hair would go on a mohawk from the very back of your neckline to the very front of your head, that's the top of your head. Coming in anywhere where that mohawk would not be, the ears, that's all legal. When a guy is trapped in a front headlock like Weidman was, there is nowhere for those knees to go except the top of the head. They're not going to land in your forehead. They're just not. They're not going to land in your nose. They're not going to land on your chin. Your face is down. The only place the knee can go is where it's illegal, is the mohawk. That's, of course, not an absolute answer, but for the most part. So that rule just scares me a little bit. I think we saw it here. I thought the referee made a good call, and the reason I think it was a good call is it's the one I had. When the knee landed, whoa, that's illegal. Weidman's got both hands down. They showed the instant replay. I saw where his hand was up. But that's still an argument to this day because people are misapplying the rule. It is not you can't land a knee. It is you cannot throw a knee. And I think that's still in question. I really do.